Then again, high standards. High standards. They come with a hefty review. Now, speaking of hefty reviews, this one here, I know if you're tuned in now, you probably seen it on all the sports networks. You've seen everyone talk about it. Technically, we talked about it almost 2 years ago. It will be 2 years in December when the Year Done song was announced, but this was right after. Well, broadcasted. I'm sorry, we on TV now, Mama. Hey, but Tua yesterday in the game against the Bills, he suffered. Some would say maybe his fifth. I think this was his fifth or fourth concussion in 5 years. It was late into like the third quarter. He had a collision with Damar Hamlin. Of course, the way the collision happened, of course, they went to a commercial break, but we were able to see Tua get up and limp off the field, but basically walk off the field at his own digression. Of course, he needed a little bit of help, but he is up. He's okay for what we know now, but we got to talk about it. And the question that's been going around, should Tua consider retirement? I'm going to start with the guest, and I'm going to start with you, Decoris. Should Tua retire? Well, consider retirement.
Whew. 5 concussions in what? 2 years, you say?
I think 4. I'm going to say 4.
4?
3
4?
years.
3?
Oh, 3 years. 5 concussions is 3 years. That's hard. That's a hard question because didn't he just sign a contract not too long ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's a dilemma here. So it's like you walk away with a big money, you just got it, and then the Dolphins probably saying, I think I need you to play because we did pay you a lot of money, but it's bigger than football. This is life we're talking about. So to be honest, this is hard. That's a hard question. You got a person's health versus money. I just paid you. So it's like, oh, that's a hard answer.
Tony?
All right. So I've been on the show several times, and we've discussed this a few times. Just talking about certain things about him, and I made my comments beforehand. I said that he still seems to me to be a player that if you pluck him in the helmet, he's going to have a concussion. I said that several times, right? So we're saying that as someone that's played the position over and over again, year in and year out, it's a tough position to play when you can't think straight, or if you're playing back there in fear, right? So should he consider retiring? Yeah, I mean, in 2022, he was thinking about it anyway. He discussed it with his family, and he actually made a decision at that point in time to play. Now, what I'll say about him is this right here. They should do what you're talking about right now, protect their investment. And the way they protect their investment is by doing what the 49ers did with CMC, is put them on IR, right? Take them out of commission. That right there would do a couple things for him. Free up a roster spot so you can go in and get another quarterback to come in, and a veteran quarterback to come in. Somebody like Ryan Fitzpatrick that's out there right now.
And Tannehill.
Huh?
And Tannehill.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of people out there that I'm sorry, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean Tannehill is who I was referring to. My bad. Thank you, sir. So Tannehill is what I was you bring Tannehill in, someone's familiar with the organization. So you can bring him in. I mean, there are so many different options they can go with right now. But one of the bigger things is just taking that guy out right now, because they said that it actually happened sooner than when they took him out. Most people think it happened actually earlier. I thought it happened earlier too, because I saw when he went back there, I saw his footwork just looked to be a little different, and I was like, something different about him right now, right? But yeah, if you look at it overall, should he consider? Of course, he should consider it. However, if you talk to many linebackers in the league, ask a lot of these hard hitters how many times they probably seen stars and stuff after making a tackle and things like that. They were probably concussed and didn't know it and still played in the game. So, but in this position right here, as quarterback, someone that has to check down, put people in positions for them to win, to be able to think, something like that. How much use is he going to be if he's not all there? You know, And that's what they need to consider. Like, even if you lose, I know they're in a tough division, right? They're in a pretty tough division with all those teams that's in there. However, the way the AFC is set up, they can afford to go 2-2 in the next games and still make the playoffs. It doesn't put them in a bad situation. They can afford to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he should consider it. He probably won't do it, but there should be some consideration. Or even like when they did that thing where they started putting the extra padding in the helmet for certain people that had the concussions and stuff like that, or that thing they're allowing right now that where they're allowed to wear that other padding on the helmet and stuff like that.
That they wear in practice.
Yep. Yeah, we're in practice. They're everywhere. They're on the field now. Something like that should probably be options for him.
That probably won't be next year.
Well, no, they allow it this year. He can do it this year.
Yeah. I think Jonathan Taylor. Where is it?
And it's another guy.
I thought it was just preseason.
Peppers was doing it. Peppers was doing it. Had it on for the Patriots.
There we go. Okay.
And I thought
I did someone from the Colts too, though, Joe.
And I saw it. I think it's Jonathan Taylor. And I thought he just had a different helmet on. I was like, what the heck going on? And then the announcers came out and was like, no, they can wear that in the games now. So maybe something like that would be a thing for him.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out Davey Shepard. He posted that in the chat before the preseason during training camp.
Yep.
Shout out to my boy Dave.
Okay.
So with me, this is a tough situation because this is football we talking about. Football is the most violent sport that we have out here outside of boxing. Because boxing, you're literally trying, and UFC, as to say, like combat sports, obviously, that's the most violent. Because you're literally trying to knock somebody's head off, all right? But outside of combat sports, NFL is probably the worst when it comes to physicality and all this. It's the toughest. I want to say worst, the toughest. And when the play happened, first thing my reaction was, I put in the chat. I said, "Dang, Tua down." I said Tua's down because I saw the fingers, I saw the hand movements. It reminded me of the Bengals game, and then doing more research, it says that when that's a sign of not having no conscience, like you're unconscious basically. And you can just see, I said he looked awkward. And then people in the chat on X was like, slide Tua, slide. And at first I agreed, but then after you watch it, it's like he did the right football play. And then the hit wasn't really a hit, It was he kind of ran into Damar Hamlin, and then Damar Hamlin didn't really it wasn't no helmet to helmet, nothing like that. But they say the more concussions you have, the easier it is to catch the next one. And his hair is you tap it, it's a concussion. It's very sensitive. So, and the first thing I thought about was Tomo. Tomo came out 2 years ago.
Oh.
What have you done, son? December 27th, if I'm not mistaken. Tomo came out with a "You Done Son" segment. Usually "You Done Son" is like, oh, you're done, son. You're not gonna win. Yeah, your time with the Clippers are over.
Your show was failing, Skip.
yeah. Hey, your show was, man. Tomo numbers are good. What you done, son? But this one was a more serious one. It deserved some some snaps. I think he spoke this one because he told Tua yo, just hang it up. Then, so do I think he should retire? Me personally, yes, but he's a football player. I heard Ron Clark today. Ron Clark was like, "We are built different." Basically, I don't want to come out the wrong way, but okay, I want to say this right. So, understand where Ron Clark is coming from if you are a football player. But if you are a human being that's not a football player, that don't make sense. You know what I mean? It's like, because the risk it's going to take, but you're still willing to go out there because you love the game so much. But the young lady first take, what's her name? She had a good point.
Was it L. Duncan?
L. Duncan. She said you have a podcast called The Pivot. When she said that, sometimes you had to pivot from where you are to a better situation. And I feel like that's what Tua has to do. He has to pivot from football. Sometimes you got to give up what you personally love for something better for everybody. Not just you, but for everybody. So He got 167 million guaranteed in his contract. 167 million. I would walk away because first, remember when you did it, you done sometime where the question was, should he walk away because he didn't get his contract yet?
Yeah, the
And
timing,
then,
right?
and you even said something, and then you done something like I need to throw him some, throw him a little something. But now you got your bread, and everybody will understand if you just walk away right now. But knowing that he's a football player, most likely he won't walk away.
Can I ask one question?
Go ahead.
Have y'all seen this movie called Concussion?
Yes.
You
With
remember
Will
all
Smith.
them remember them players in the past from the 70s and 80s who, got all the concussions and died off
Yep.
was it CTE, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, tell Ryan Clark, remind him of that,
Oh,
and
he
then come back.
understands that.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Thomas,
and-
real quick. Last thing I
Mhm.
want to say is this: what really worried me was when I think it's Calais Campbell hugged to his brother. He
Mm.
hugged his brother. I was like, dang, this is like really like serious.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's serious.
Look what happened with Jordan Reed. He retired.
Man, Percy Harvin, he was getting
Hey,
migraine.
didn't we meet Jordan Reed at the?
Yeah, yes, we
That
did.
was
Shout out
him?
to Joe Reed. I got the picture on my phone right now.
That was him. All right, I knew I wasn't tripping.
Come on, you know Jordan Reed.
I did.
Come
I
on
was just
now.
acting like I didn't,
You
man.
know
I got
that.
Dallas in the background. I can't be acting like I took pictures with
I should
y'all.
put the numbers against y'all, but he was probably hurt. Like, shoot,
I mean, one of the players that doesn't get documented about it as much, but he still suffers from it today is Wayne Corbett. Wayne Corbett had a lot of concussions and went back in there and played in games.
Remind me who he played for. I'm sorry, Wayne Corbett.
Yes.
He sound familiar.
He played for
Wait,
the
okay.
Right.
Number 80. All right.
And so I'll just give you my story behind it when I did it real quick. I had the first concussion I ever had. I've had two, right? The very first one I had no control over anything. I didn't know what was going on, and it was when I saw the video, my hands were just moving on their own. Like I was there, and my hands were above my head, and they were just moving on their own. Now, I will tell you, I caused the concussion myself because, I told the dude that I was going to meet him in the middle of the field and I wasn't moving. And he said he wasn't moving either. We both hit each other like rams. And, right. So, but anywho, yeah, it's a tough thing, man. Bright lights, noises, all types of things like that really bother you. And, the way it goes on, I mean, the person that I think of every time I think of concussions is Junior Seau, the guy who,
Man,
That was one of the people I mentioned too.
right?
Mhm.
He's the person that I
Who?
think of every single time, right? Like, are we going to go in here and have a Junior Seau moment with Tua? Like, sometimes you got to you got to protect players from themselves. And right now, this is the time for the Dolphins to protect him, even for a small portion, to get him to see a neurologist or whatever it is to make sure that he's good. Sit him for 4 games. Just sit him for the 4 games. Put him on IR and sit him for the 4 games. And during that time, you have enough time to reevaluate the situation to see whether you want to say, hey, look, my brother, you need to retire.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about a tough week for just Miami in general. Like we coming off of the Tyreek news with Calais Campbell also who was involved. Now we got to talk about who else?
John Smith.
Okay, and John Smith. See, I ain't hear about that part. But and also with Tua on the field, and technically, again, the Yadunson kind of embodies everything that I really want to say about it. Now, I just want to address one thing, what you said about Ryan Clark. I see where Ryan Clark was coming from, like you said, as a football player, and he was defending football players, and he more so was saying, like, look, that was me. So it kind of got a little personal for him. He was like, you can't tell a player no. Like, don't go back out there. Like, I know you scared, but that's just what it is. And as he kept talking, I kept hearing him, and it's like it's one of those things where you hear him. He basically almost sound like you want to say, "Mama, I gotta go. I gotta go defend the homies. Like I gotta go." And it's kind of like, well, you go out there, you know what's about to happen. I know I might lose you. You might not come back. And that's where Elle looked like she was his mom's. And she was like, bro, no, he don't. It's bigger than football. Like, I don't care about football right now. This is your life. And technically, that's how the conversation probably went with Tua before when he had with his family about considering retirement. He's like, but I gotta play. Like, this is what I'm good at. Like, this is my thing. Like, this is all you all know me for. Like, family wise, you all know me for more. But this is what perfect analogy. The fans, they still gonna love me, man. Like, you just can't walk away from the game. Would I consider it? I mean, I got my money now, so yeah, I consider it. Like, it'll be tough to watch football for a while because you still can do your thing, but you got to consider it. There's bigger things in life, and I could play a snippet from the "You're Done, Son," because technically that's the route I'm gonna go anyway with my final words, and I'm gonna just play the video now. And if you want to go check it out, it's still up on the page. We'll drop a link also in the comment section too, so you can go back and check out the whole segment because we also put some people in the doghouse for it. We'll bring it up now. I've never played a professional sport. Play with my friends, you play outside. I play flag football. So I know, and then just doing podcasting. I know what it's like to chase your dream and, to work hard, to commit to something, to sacrifice for it, and to finally get there. And everything could just be taken away from you just like that. Sometimes it's because of your doing. Sometimes it's just God's will. And in this situation, God is sending you a message, man. Like, for you to suffer 3 concussions in almost less than 4 months and you can still breathe and like do things with your family. I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he has a fiance or anything like that, but Tua, your family loves you. And at the end of the day, Miami, we all know NFL players don't want to do they want to do the right thing by their team. So they're going to be hard headed. No pun. But do the right thing by this kid and just wholeheartedly tell him, Tua, for your NFL career, just walk away and tell the NFL, you're done, son.
Well said, man.
Real said, yeah.
I love your analogy, Tomo, about I need the homies need me. Oh, huh. You want to be like little Chris in the wheelchair, huh? Oh, no. You want to be like Doughboy now, huh? Give me the gun, Trey. That's a
Exactly
moment
what
right
it is.
there.
That's it.
That's the first thing I thought about when you said that. That's so true. Doughboy, let me out. Come on, man. Get out the car. To it. Let's get out the car, bro, and go home.
Honestly, I think his teammates would tell him that if he was to try to come back within probably less than the 4, I like the 4. I forgot all about IR, so that was a good idea. So like you force them to actually think about what's going on, and also you force the people around him to say, "Hey, you can't go play football for a while. You're on IR. Like, no, don't even worry about it."
Yeah. And Blaze, you're right, but you know how people love the attention. They love they feed off that. Some people play for the fans, and that's a dangerous thing to do. Play for the recognition. That's a dangerous game to play right there.
Look what happened to Andrew. Look what happened to Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
And then people hated him after that. Remember, man, you gonna quit in the middle of the beginning of the season after you saying, "Oh, you promised all this." Man, cared about his health, and he walked away.
Yeah, he really can't take into consideration the fans and stuff when it comes down to this, because when it all boils down to it, it's about him. It's about him, and you that didn't look good at all last night.
Nah,
and not just the fans. He probably thinking my team. You know how you want to ride like the homies. Like Tomo said, I gotta be here for my team. We was a Super Bowl potential year for us.
Well,
he probably thinking all that. So, but we all know from looking from the outside, it's like, bro, like it's not worth it.
Yeah, nah.
Look, every time he goes in to cash a check, he can think of the homies. Okay, all right. Every time he cashes a check, he can think of the homies. You know what? This is what would have happened. I would have, my homies. Every time he come in there, he doesn't have to worry about that stuff, man. Like, your homies aren't going to be there when your kids need you.
Facts.
Yeah.
Only you can be there when the kids need you.
And he got the bag. Like the biggest pushback when I did the "You're Done, Son" was he want to get paid. So now it's like he got his money. There's no you need to be healthy. No, you need to be healthy for your family at this point. So I'm with
you. And shout out to Boss Scott. He told Ron Clark, when you went through your situation, we didn't know about CTE like we do now. This is a new age. And your response to, he had a whole different situation. And then L. Duncan said we had research on what you went through, but we didn't have research. Like, now we have more research on what this guy has. Now he don't have CTE, but you see what I'm saying, the potentials of it. And the crazy thing about the Tua situation, his reaction to these concussions, that's the scary part.
Yeah.
People get concussions all the time, but the reaction to it is like, oh man, it's like, oh.
The
Remember
scariest
back in
part.
the day, people used to get hit and they get stiff, and we'd be so worried for them. If that happened to somebody twice, we like, nah, bro, you need to chill. Tua, come on, man.
The scariest concussion is that game against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
Now, that was horrifying.
Yes, and this was almost like that because his hands started doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But let's go, Tomo, man. You're gonna hear all day.
Yeah. You know, Tua, hey, make the right call. But